What's up guys, welcome back. It's the King of Salvage. I hope you've all had a wonderful Christmas and I wish you a merry New Year. I wish you a happy New Year. The yard's empty at the minute, we don't open until the 4th of January, but what I thought is I'll get down here and give you guys a little bit of exclusive footage of some of the lorries we've got, some of the machines and some of the cars that we have in the yard now and what we get in on a day-to-day basis. The McLaren is making a bit of a noise. It sounds like a hairdryer. It's missing a couple of bits, so it just makes this really annoying hairdryer noise all the time, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. Yeah, so stay tuned, this video is going to be sick and you don't want to miss a thing. Oh look, I was actually going to pull the McLaren in the yard and do some like exciting thing like, oh look what someone scrapped in the yard, but the problem we got is the deepest puddle known to mankind decided to appear right in front of the entrance to the yard, so I've actually had to park the McLaren over there, pan round, in front of the lovely fleet of Ivecos, Eurocargos and DAFs. For the minute, because I can't get it through that. Well, I probably could, but I don't want to risk it getting water in the fans, in the cooler. It just stresses me out. Up there's where the security guard sleeps. Look, I actually had to wake him up to let me in. Cheers, John, mate. Thanks for letting me in. He stays there 24 hours, so if any of you burglars want to try and steal anything, you've got to go through John first. So, this yard we're actually in, McLaren decides to shut up now so I can speak properly. This yard we're in is our holding yard. It's quite a new yard we've got, and we've decided to utilise the space and fill it with all of our lorries and some cars that we are going to sell. They're really nice, but they'll do someone a good job. So, I'll start with our 7.5 tonne fleet. We've actually got 4, so we've got a 68 plate Iveco there, which is our newest lorry. Keith the Chief, #1 driver, goes out in that one. We've got the 15 plate Eurocargo, we've got the GN10, which is what I used to go and pick up my supercars. Well, I didn't pick that one up, but I picked my Porsche and the BMW up in. That bad boy. She's the backbone of the firm, the girl. So that is our grab lorry. We used to use that to go into the auctions and actually load the cars onto the back, but new legislation's come in, which means we can't actually do that anymore, so everything has to be loaded on with their forklifts or by the winches that we've got on the back, which is a bit of a pain, but I'm sure some companies still do that, so... Anyway, it's all our oldest lorry. This is our DAF, this is our skip lorry. If you come around the back, I'll show you one of our fresh skips. Signature Ace car breakers, yellow. And then behind there, this is actually the largest skip we do. We've actually got a smaller one. This is actually the smallest skip we do. Are you still zoomed in? You are still massively zoomed in.
Looks good.
You pay a cameraman to do a job and she don't even do it. Anyway, that's the smallest skip we do. They're the largest skips we do. We can put them in your yard. We give them out to firms, fill them up with scrap metal. We come and pick them up as soon as they're done and we give you the best prices in the country. But we only operate in Kent, Sussex and Essex. So if you're from up north, don't give me a call yet. Give it a couple of years and I'm sure we'll be working with you. I'll take you back round. Oh, and here is our other 7.5 tonne lorry. Signature sign written, Ace car breakers, and what are you going to do about it? That is the 66 plate. Come through here, we've got a little 3.5 tonne 07 plate. The difference between this and one of those, you don't actually need a lorry licence to drive this one, or a class 2. Whereas you do with one of them, like for the younger people. The older people have the exemption, but the only problem is you can only get 3.5 tonne on them, so it's much more efficient to use a 7.5 tonne lorry. And then last but not least, this is our roll-on, roll-off lorry. So if you come around here and have a look, this is our roll-on, roll-off lorry. We do 40 yarders, we do 20 yarders, and basically how the mechanism works is this hooks onto a hook which is on the back of the bin, and then there's 2 rollers on either side of the bin, which this hook then hooks up over. The rollers slide the bottom of the bin on, and then the bin comes down securely on top, and that hook prevents the bin from moving. And also them hooks you see at the back here hook around the side of the sliding plates on the bottom, or what you want to call them, like they're just plates on the bottom basically. They hook around the side, secure it down. So that's what we use when we put out 40 yard, 20 yard bins, which you can get a lot more scrap metal in than one of the large skips. So if you do want one of these bins or skips, seriously, Ace Car Breakers, give us a call and we can sort you out with the best price in town. Right, let's get into the proper yard now, and I'll show you around, show you what we've got. so all you noise people out there can have a little look around. We've actually got one more lorry, which is parked in the yard now, which is our biggest and most prized possession. It's a 10-car transporter, which we send our driver out every day to auction sites such as Sandy, Rochford, Sandwich, Copa, all of them Copa, IAA in Canvey Island, or even sometimes Westbury, Newbury, depending on what the stock's like. He drives down there in our 10-car transporter and picks up 10 cars at a time, which is really handy and proficient using fuel. But yeah, anyway, let's go inside and I'll show you what it looks like. There you go. Can't open gates. So guys, we are now in the main yard. This is where the magic happens on a day-to-day basis. Oh, well, I haven't got a hard hat on or a high vis because the yard is shut. So any of you health and safety critics out there, just know that this is not in operation, so I don't need the equipment. But anyway, this is the first place the cars see when they come into our yard. So the cars come in straight in, they get unloaded in here, ready to be sorted. So I'll come over now and we'll show you some of the cars we've got ready to sort when we go back on the 4th of January. So, here we go, we'll start with this bad boy, Citroen C2. This is a pretty run-of-the-mill car. We get quite a few of these style cars, Citroen C2s, Fiestas, Astras, Corsas. Pretty bog-standard car that consumes a large bulk of what we do. So, this is probably, we would have probably paid 160, 170 pound if we paid that off the road, or maybe I would have bid 125 pound on an auction site maximum, because it's not really a profitable car, it's just one of them ones that keeps us going. So anyway, as I said, that is where we store the cars. You can see there's probably 100 cars sat out there now. If you go right up, have a look up there. So that is where we store the cars first stage when they come in the yard. I'm not going to do it in order and go through step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, but I will go through where everything happens and what goes on. So if I take you around the back, this is another storage section predominantly for the cars which are yet to be exported. So we know what's going to happen to them. We know, whoa, big puddle alert. Good job I had eyes in the back of my head. We know what's going to happen with these cars, so we just store them around here until the time comes for them to be exported or sold or sent out, whatever that may be. So yeah, so take a good look in. So what we've done over here is we installed the stands so that we could stack the cars on top of each other and utilise the space a little bit better, so we had more cars stored in a smaller space. So take a good look in and have a look at some of the cars we've got in there at the minute, because they won't be there for very long. I've got the camera in my own hands at the minute. I'm going to walk you up the stairs. This is actually the workers' hut, so this is the area where the workers go in at the break times and they can just doss about basically whilst they're not working. So I'll give you an idea of what we've got. So let me focus you in. That bin over there is where we store our scrap tyres ready for collection. So in this area we will also store stuff like starter motors, electric motors, alternators, and we just use it as a sort of a bin storage yard for bins that aren't being used and that are ready to go out when they get called upon. So that is pretty much that area. I'll put you in the capable hands of my videographer. Right, anyway, we'll go over here. This is the last section of this side of the yard that I am going to show you, and what we have got here is we have got our aluminium. This is our aluminium bay. It did get emptied before obviously Christmas, because as I said, we don't want to leave much stock in the yard, but that is where the aluminium is stored. And then we use one of our scrap handlers like this bad boy over here, which is actually broken at the minute, that is the repair shop, so it's getting repaired. And that's what we use to load that into the lorries. That is the grab off of the Fuchs. The pin has broken in the Fuchs, so we've had to order a new one, which does arrive in the new year. So the old girl will be back up and running in the new year, but at the minute she's just having a well-earned Christmas break. Quick little bonus for you. So we've actually bought a new pickup, an RSL pickup for our Komatsu machine. which we use to extract wire and aluminium bumper bars and rad off of other cars after they've been depolluted. So this is ready to go on in the new year. This is a brand new one. Pass me the camera and I'll show you it from here. So I'll show you that. Wowza. So this area is where we cut out the engines for the cars. So this is actually where I've cut out a taxi engine, which I'm going to drop down to Daniel from Asheville next week. You can see the engine is still in there. So it gets loaded on there with a forklift, engine cut, and then new one on, in and out all day. With 2 men on it, we should be able to do one in roughly 20 minutes. I always find it weird walking around the yard on a day where nobody's here, because it's a bit creepy, it's a bit eerie. It feels like it should be bustling and everybody should be working, but it's just quiet and peaceful. It's quite a contrast, so it is always strange for me. Anyway, over here, oh, there we go, there she is. There's the pride and joy of the company, the Volvo 10-car transporter. And I'm going to flip to some pans of it because it's that good, it deserves some footage on its own. She is usually a little bit cleaner, but we'll let the lorry driver off at the minute. It is Christmas, he probably wanted to get away early, but Tony, she needs cleaning. That lorry there isn't actually ours, that's one of the transport firms who transport material for us. We let him park his lorry in the yard when he's not working, just a win-win for everyone really, and he's ready to go, loaded up first thing in the morning, so ignore that lorry, that's not ours. So I'll take you down the end. I can actually take you down there a little bit more today because obviously nobody's working, and give you a real insight into what actually happens at the end of the yard. And as I said before, I'm not wearing a hard hat and I haven't got high vis on because nobody's working. So, this is our Swanscombe 830E. That is our backbone. That is probably, I know I've said it about a lot of things here, but that is the backbone of the firm. That runs from 7 o'clock till 5 o'clock every day, picking up cars, putting them in the baler, moving them over here, loading lorries, doing a lot of work. So if she went down, that would be trouble. We do occasionally get pipes go on the front of it, but because we've got two great fitters, she's up and running normally within the same day, within the same hour most of the time. I'll give you 5 seconds to guess what my foot's leaning on. Silver, square. That used to be a Vauxhall Zafira. You probably never guessed it, did you? So all of these blocks, which look like big bricks, are old cars that have been scrapped in our Lafort baler. So have a good look. Some of you might be shocked because you've never seen them before. So these are bales. We sell these, we load them into the back of a Arctic and we sell them around the country. We can also sell them as logs, which means they've been baled down into that size, but they're just the real length of the car, so they haven't been squashed down. The problem with that is you can only load less on a lorry, but we do get better prices for those because they're easier to recycle on the other end. So I've just gone into the toilet to have a little look, and I've been scarred. There is a massive, I'm not going to say what's in there, but you can use your own imagination. So whoever's done that, you're getting a boot, mate. Karma is coming for you. Joking, Ace Car Bakers, we treat our staff really nicely. So if you're wondering, that area over there, with them two cars on the ramps, is a depollution bay. I did go into depth about that in my last video, so if you are interested and want to check it out, A Day in the Life is on my channel now, so go watch that, where I talk about that in a lot more depth. This area behind me is the scrap metal sorting area. This is usually where skips and firms drop their scrap metal down for us to sort and shear in our Lafort baler, which is next to us. But today, it's clearly not a scrap metal sorting area. We're using it as a storage facility for some more cars, as we are quite behind on processing the cars, as one of our machines went down just before Christmas. So as soon as we get back on the 4th of January, our main priority is going to be getting these cars out as quickly as possible so we can free up some space to resume normal activities in this part of the yard. That big orange thing behind me, if you're wondering, is a road sweeper that one of our clients scrapped with us last week. So that's it for today, guys. I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you enjoyed the more in-depth tour of the yard. I'm just looking forward to getting back on the 4th of January, getting cracking, getting the yard busy again. We'll do plenty of more content next year. I'm going to get some reviews of some of the machines. I'm going to show you how this bad boy really works, and you're going to meet some more of the staff and see what we get up to on a day-to-day basis. So 2020 is a big year for Ace. And if you need to scrap your car, remember, Ace Car Breakers are the guys for you. Thanks, guys, and a Happy New Year.